Karen called 911 while I BBQ'd. She got evicted for life under a federal HOA abuse clause. The summer sun hung low, painting my backyard in hues of gold, when the piercing wail of sirens shattered the peace. I stood by my grill, tongs in hand, flipping burgers for the neighborhood cookout. The air was thick with the smoky aroma of charred meat and laughter until Karen stormed in. Her heels clicked furiously on the patio, her voice a venomous hiss. "You're breaking every HOA rule in the book," she shrieked, waving her phone like a weapon. "I'm calling 911. This illegal fire hazard ends now." My jaw dropped. A fire hazard? It was a standard propane grill, permitted and safe. But Karen, with her perfectly manicured nails and superiority complex, wasn't here for reason. She was here for war. And war she got, but not the victory she expected. The trouble with Karen started months ago when I, Jamal Carter, moved into Pinewood Estates, a quiet suburban enclave. I'd saved for years to buy this house, a place to raise my daughter, Aisha, and build a life. The neighborhood was welcoming, except for Karen Mitchell, the self-appointed HOA queen. From day one, she scrutinized my every move. My lawn was too wild, my mailbox too modern, my very presence disruptive. She'd leave passive-aggressive notes, citing obscure bylaws, and once reported me for excessive noise when Aisha practiced her saxophone. I tried to keep the peace, nodding politely, but Karen's vendetta only grew. That barbecue day, she found her perfect excuse to escalate things to a new low. As the sirens grew louder, I set down my tongs, heart pounding. Neighbors peeked over fences, drawn by the commotion. Karen stood smugly, arms crossed, her designer dress catching the fading light. "You'll regret this, Jamal," she sneered. "This neighborhood isn't for people like you." The jab stung, but I stayed calm. Aisha, watching from the porch, looked scared. I gave her a reassuring nod, though inside I was boiling. The police arrived, 2 officers stepping out with confused expressions. "Ma'am, you reported a fire?" one asked. Karen pointed to my grill, ranting about dangerous open flames and unpermitted gatherings. The officer inspected the grill, then turned to her. "This is a standard barbecue, ma'am. No laws broken here." Her face reddened, but she doubled down, demanding they arrest me for disturbing the peace. Then came a twist no one saw coming. Mrs. Rosa, the elderly widow next door, shuffled forward, her cane tapping the ground. She was quiet, unassuming, rarely seen at HOA meetings. But her eyes burned with resolve. "Officers," she said, her voice steady. "Karen's been harassing this family for months. I've got all on my security, camera every note, every threat, every time she trespassed to snoop." The crowd gasped. Karen's smugness faltered. Rosa wasn't done. She did the same to the Garcias before they moved out. And me, when I planted roses without her approval. She's been abusing her HOA power to bully anyone who doesn't bow to her. Rosa handed over a USB drive. "It's all here. Dates, times, footage." The officers took the drive, their demeanor shifting. Karen's voice pitched higher, deflecting. "That's preposterous. I'm protecting property values." But the neighbors, emboldened by Rosa's courage, began to speak up. Mr. Lee recounted how Karen fined him for a non-compliant fence color. The Patels shared how she'd threatened to sue over their Diwali decorations. The truth unraveled like a dam breaking. Karen wasn't just a nuisance. She was a tyrant, wielding HOA rules like a cudgel to enforce her vision of a perfect neighborhood. The confrontation reached its peak when the officers reviewed Rosa's footage on a tablet. Grainy but clear, it showed Karen sneaking onto my property at night, measuring my grass, even kicking over Aisha's bike in a fit of spite. The crowd murmured, anger rising. But the real bombshell came when the officers found footage of Karen vandalizing the community board spray painting over event flyers she didn't approve. "That's destruction of property," the second officer said, his tone grave. "And this pattern of harassment? It's actionable." Karen's face drained of color. She stammered, "You can't be serious. I'm the victim here." But the evidence was undeniable. The officers cuffed her not for my barbecue, but for her documented trail of malice. Karen's downfall was swift and brutal. The HOA board, spurred by Rose's evidence and the neighbors' testimonies, convened an emergency meeting. They uncovered a federal HOA abuse clause, a little-known regulation designed to curb discriminatory and coercive practices. Karen's actions targeted harassment, vandalism, and abuse of authority fit the bill perfectly. The board voted unanimously to evict her, a rare but legal move under the clause. Her pristine house, her status symbol, was stripped away. As movers hauled her belongings out, Karen stood on her lawn, screaming about lawsuits, but no one listened. The neighborhood had had enough. Aisha, watching from our porch, whispered, "Is it over, Dad?" I hugged her tight. "Yeah, baby, it's over." The aftermath felt like a collective exhale. Pinewood Estates threw a new barbecue, this time at Rose's house, to celebrate. Neighbors shared stories, laughed, and ate together, no longer under Karen's shadow. Rosa, now a quiet hero, smiled as Aisha played her saxophone for the crowd. The HOA rewrote its bylaws, prioritizing fairness over nitpicking. I looked at my daughter, her face lit by firelight, and felt a weight lift. We'd fought for our place here, and we'd won not just against Karen, but against the fear she represented. Karen's eviction wasn't just a personal victory. It was a lesson in standing up. One person's cruelty can poison a community, but one voice like Rosa Scan's sparked change. So we think, was justice served, or did it go too far? Share your thoughts, because in a world full of Karens, we all have a stake in what's right.